Hello everybody, it's Raphael Perry here and it's time to try out a new game. There's a beautiful introduction to sit through. This is Kingdom Come Deliverance. I've been waiting for it for, 4 years now, and it's been well worth the wait. Anyway, let's get back and enjoy the beautiful introduction with gorgeous, period-appropriate art, and then I can blab all over talking about the main menu and stuff before I begin, okay? Right, let's get to it.
Charles IV, King of Bohemia and Holy Roman Emperor, had a long and successful reign. The empire he ruled from Prague expanded, and his subjects lived in peace and prosperity. When the emperor died, the whole empire mourned. More than 7,000 people accompanied him on his last procession. The heir to the throne of the flourishing empire was Charles's son, Wenceslas IV, whose father had prepared him for this moment all his life. But Wenceslas did not take after his father. He neglected affairs of state for more frivolous pursuits. He even failed to turn up for his own coronation as emperor, which did little to endear him to the Pope. Wenceslas the Idle did not impress the imperial nobility either. His difficulties mounted until the nobles, exasperated by the inaction of their ruler, turned for help to his half-brother, King Sigismund of Hungary. Sigismund decided on a radical solution. He kidnapped the king to force him to abdicate, then took advantage of the ensuing disorder to gain greater power for himself. He invaded Bohemia with a massive army and began pillaging the territories of the king's allies. It is here that my story begins.
So, there we have it. Kingdom Come Deliverance is a wonderful new computer game that's been in the works for a number of years now. I first saw it and backed it on Kickstarter. The premise was, hey guys, we'd like to make a computer game that's like Skyrim, but without the dragons and the monsters and all the races that aren't humans being some kind of elf, and just make it a very historical, very realistic game. Okay, I thought, that sounds promising. I like my fantasy games, I like my medieval historical stuff. I'm willing to give this a go. Just trying out a more historical approach to things, right? So I plopped down my money, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited very patiently. And then finally, this day, about 4 years later, no, the game wasn't released today, the game was released on Tuesday. And I spent the better part of 4 days downloading it. Because I had to upload videos for you lovely people and I have a slow internet speed, and it was a big game download, and then they patched it the first day as well, so that made the download even bigger. Yeah, but here it finally is. And then of course I had a bit of a busy weekend having to go to a convention on Saturday. But here I am, ready to play. Now, a lot of people compare this game to Skyrim, but I don't think that's necessarily a good idea. I mean, if you wanted a comparison, I'd say think of it more like the Witcher games, in that it's going to have a very historical look. And a lot of people who do reenactment and HEMA type stuff, that's historic European martial arts, or historical European martial arts, depending on how you want to say it, say that the combat in this game has clearly had HEMA input. Well, a few people though say that it's unarmoured fighting, and there's different techniques for fighting against someone in armour or someone out of armour, right? You know, if you're wearing armour, you're going to fight differently. If someone else is wearing armour, you need to fight differently against the armour, because you need to look for the weak points in it. And the combat in this game is apparently all unarmoured combat techniques and not so much armoured combat techniques. That's not saying the armour doesn't work, it's just saying that they didn't vary up the techniques based on what you're facing or what you're using. I like the fact that the narrator, our introducer, possibly our main character there, I think he's supposed to be a blacksmith's son. I can't remember his name. Is it Michael or something like that? Just quick paranoid check again. So I've noticed, interestingly, that the game pauses when shrunk down, which actually allowed me to pause it there just before the introduction, so I didn't speak over it. Gorgeous introduction, by the way. Beautiful illuminated art style. Slightly animated. I'm not sure the animation was needed, but it was still really nice. That Wenceslas IV, eh? Sounds like he wasn't a very good king. I mean, it didn't sound like he was quite as bad as King John. And you know what? If we hadn't had a king as bad as King John, then Magna Carta would never have been signed and we'd still be a monarchy. I mean, we're a constitutional monarchy, but it's not quite the same, because that was part of the whole downward slump towards, you know, the English Civil War and everything that followed on from that. You know, the beheading of 2 kings and, oh goodness. Sometimes you think things would be a bit simpler if maybe everything wasn't discussed to death and there was just someone in charge to make the decisions. So, simpler times, but not necessarily better. Now, this game is leaning towards the high medieval. Let's see, 1403. You're talking the last couple of centuries. That's not even high medieval, is it? That's late medieval. Because you go, you know, classical, Dark Ages, early medieval. Early medieval and Dark Ages overlap. Then you get high medieval, where it's like all the highest technology and stuff. And then you get late medieval, where it's kind of slowing down and heading towards the Renaissance. This is kind of high to late medieval period. Also, we're not necessarily going to play this as a warrior, right? I don't know how I'm going to play this one. I do know that we play a set character. And I had a quick look at the controls before playing. Well, I had to boot up the game first off to check I could record it, and it seems okay so far. I'll find out when I actually get into it. I'll have a quick pause and check that it's actually recording gameplay, because I have had a few instances where recording main menu was fine, but recording a game wasn't, or recording a menu wasn't fine. You know, just bits didn't work together weirdly. Let's hope it all works now, though. Okay, I'm just going to have another quick look at controls. Generally, right, mouse sensitivity, I'm not going to adjust that until I've actually played the game a bit and got a feel for what the mouse sensitivity is like. If there's anything like in the menu here, it feels generally okay. Okay, so we got, looks like Skyrim controls here so far. Space or right mouse button to skip dialogue. Why would I skip it unless I was really familiar with it? If it's like the same NPC over and over again and I go to talk to the shopkeeper and he says the same line about his stock or something, maybe I would, you know, if it's a long one. So escape to get out of something. Jump, sprint. Again, these are Skyrim controls. Caps lock. Right, X, horse. Horse is X. Okay, X, I presume that's to mount a horse or dismount. Rotate left and rotate right. I'm not sure if these are going to be horse controls or if they're just usable on foot as well, because honestly, I mean, right and left, you want to be turn right and turn left. You don't want all this sidestepping nonsense, because that's something maybe you'd have in combat, but in normal movement, when you walk around an obstacle, you tend to turn to face the way you're going, and then move that way, and then turn again, you know. But, you know, in combat, if you like dodging arrows or something, and yeah, you've tried dodging arrows, they're fast. Anyway, yeah. Let's see. So there's a primary attack and a secondary attack. We don't know if the secondary is more powerful or less powerful or something, but it'll be different. Abort attack is really interesting, because I presume I'll be able to say, I'm not going to fully commit to this attack. Like, whoa, okay, that might actually lead to some very interesting feints and, you know, confusing opponents. Okay, we got a lock on. Special attack. Okay. Kick if you're close, in a bind, in a clinch, fist fight, mercy kill, the enemy is dying, tackle when chasing someone down, stealth attack. Okay, so it's a situational variety thing that I'd need to try out and get used to. Also, I should try not to fight too much early on, because if this is a very historical medieval game, you don't want to get in a fight. I mean, it could happen, but violence hurts, right? And it's not going to be like Skyrim where you go, okay, the fight's over, I'll just sit here for 30 seconds and my life bar will be full up again. We have a block button, which is Q, which is a bit odd. That's going to take some getting used to. Draw melee weapon, draw ranged weapon. Mouse wheel to cycle through opponents. Unlock target is for middle mouse button. Interesting. It's nice to have a dedicated surrender button, because in Skyrim it was like, if you want to surrender, you have to block and press the conversation button or interaction button or something to try and get them to stop fighting you, and it won't always work. Now, having a dedicated surrender button doesn't mean it's always going to work, but having it on one button on its own, it's like, guys, we've got this whole keyboard here, there's all these buttons we can use. What's that, G for give up? Okay, I, P, is that B for horse? Looks like a B, could be an H. The font's a little at the top of the B there, around that side, a little faint. Move the mouse off, it's fine. J for journal. It's quest book, it's B for book, I mean, yeah, anyway, I might change that. M for map. This is all, middle mouse button again, center map. So this is all fairly intuitive stuff that I'm familiar with. N for codex, which is different to journal. That'll be interesting. Cycle tabs is tab. oh, opens next tab. I see. Hopefully I can just do that for mouse anyway. I probably will anyway. Toggle info Q. Move item. Okay. Move transfers item from the player to the horse and back again. But does that mean that I have to be adjacent to the horse to do this? Because if stuff's going to just magically teleport from me to a horse, that's exploitable. Open skip time. Help. Open skip time. That's not open, comma, skip time. It's open skip time. So what, there's like a tip, and we're just going to tip all our junk in it? I don't know, T. That'd be useful. Screenshots. Yeah, it's a Steam game. They're all F12 for screenshots. Secondary minigame action, tertiary minigame action, fine, but what's the primary minigame action? Yeah, I'll have to find out, I suppose. A lot of these keys are doubling up, so it'll be used to, it'll be muscle memory to get used to it. Reset alchemy benches are increase sharpening pressure and decrease sharpening pressure. So we might get to play with whetstones and have fun sharpening things. Now, before getting into this, I do know that the game settings, let's see. Yep, okay. That should all be fine. Oh wait, do I want subtitles? I mean, I don't generally go for subtitles, but what the hell. You guys will get to listen and read if you want as well. And I can turn them off later if I get sick of them. So I know we play a blacksmith's son. I believe our father is going to be murdered, and we're going to be off looking for revenge against some evil villain. Playing some kind of Robin Hood character, lying low, keeping out of trouble, sneaking about, and I've waffled on for far too long, so I might as well just dive right in and see how it goes. Warhorse Studios. The early 15th century was a time of turmoil in the Holy Roman Empire, which had flourished under the late Emperor Charles IV, but now, with his son Wenceslas and the writings going too fast again, the king's inactivity angered many of the nobility, as well as his half-brother King Sigismund of, why do people always make subtitles go too fucking fast at the start of things? For God's sake, people! Put it up long enough for someone to actually read and process the information. I mean, what is it, like a disclaimer? Hey, I like that. Oh, please God, don't have the Skyrim thing of when animals run away from you, they only run along the roads because it's actually quicker. It just seems so unnatural when they do that. Silver Scarlets, 1403. That looks very Mott and Bailey to me. That's more like 800, 900 in some regards. Well, the castle itself isn't. Kingdom come, Deliverance! Deliver us from bugginess. You never know, it could happen. Look at that roof there. Oh god, those shelters. They are so rickety. Everyone's got to work in this day and age. Wait, that was a really weird cut. Look at those cruel eyes. We're in my mind, looking at my mind, and suddenly outside again. It was so weird, so sudden.
God bless. Same to you. Today's a scorching.
They're all really northern. It's nice to have a consistent regional accent. Because it makes for people feel like they live together. Oh, wasn't there supposed to be a side quest where we get to play a woman for a little bit?
How goes it?
Good. I should get it finished today. Where on earth is Henry? I need him to run some errands.
He was still sleeping when I went out.
At this hour? Blue-blooded idler.
Well, it looks like he was out all evening, drinking like a lord.
She's slightly Geordie.
Go and get the lazy bones up then. Quick clout round the ear should do it.
The accents remind me of Paul Copley, a wonderful British actor. He's getting on a bit now. Now, where's he from? He's not from Yorkshire, he's from somewhere
Henry!
nearby, a bit further west.
Get up now. There's work to be done.
Get up or I'll come get you up, you slug of bed.
Hear that? You'd better not vex him. Now get up quick. Your breakfast is on the table. Wait, what's this? Have you been... Oh, Henry. How many times have I told you about fighting?
Oh, it's nothing. It's just a scratch.
You've been at that sword play again, haven't you? You'd better pray your father doesn't get to hear of it. You know how he feels about it.
Oh, don't worry, it wasn't that. I just scratched myself is all.
He's gone
Well,
West Country.
Just don't come crying to me if you really do get hurt. Now get up, you rogue.
All that back. As he was lying there stretching, I thought that armpit is so weird. Wait, unexpected visit.
Fine state you're in this morning. What on earth did you get up to last night?
By means of the first two choices in this dialogue, you will select your character's default characteristics. If you're not satisfied with them, not to worry. All characteristics can be further developed without limitations. So wait, is he... Oh god, is this gonna be... Okay, so mouse wheel again. It's Skyrim scrolling up and down to choose rather than just being able to click on stuff. So chatting in the tavern, dancing. So, oh really? Bianca, eh? Ricky! That's working in the forge. Well, I don't think he was up working, and his father did say he was drinking. So, I mean, his parents do know him, but how well do they know him? All characteristics can be fairly... So, yeah. I'm presuming that means they can all be developed further. This is just a little starting bonus. I mean, he did get hurt. Alright. Didn't look like a burn mark. He could have gone into a bar fight. He could have had a dancing accident. I mean, he could have just been banging really hard and... What, she sat on his hand? I'm going to go with the default for now.
Nothing much. Me and the lads were just having a chat in the tavern. Some wayfarer stopped by. He was telling us what's going on in the world, and, well, I lost track of time.
Well, I hope he didn't fill your head with nonsense. Well, I've got a feeling there's something you're not telling me. And it's connected with that scratch on your hand. And that suspicious-looking character with a sword who turned up in town recently.
Okay, so this is this is an early medieval where swords would be somewhat of a rarity and more of a status symbol. This is high to late medieval where swords were more commonplace. So a stranger turning up with a sword isn't that momentous, but it does generally mean... The main thing about a sword is it's a weapon, right? If someone's got a dagger, hey, it's also a knife. If someone's got an axe, they might be chopping some wood. If someone's got a hammer, they might work as a carpenter, you know. If someone's got a spear, they could be out hunting. Same goes for a bow. If someone turns up with a sword, it's kind of only got one purpose. It's a weapon, it's not any kind of tool. So, I mean, it can be used as a tool, but it's not very good at it. So, why would I be interested in sword fighting? Let's try to talk his way out of it. Matthias was teaching me archery. I noticed also that this is not the voice of our narrator in the introduction. So I'll be interested to see if we meet that character and find out who he is. He's teaching me archery. Why not? We'll see where this goes.
I was with Bianca. Do you want a blow-by-blow account of everything we did? What's this, an interrogation?
All right, all right. Sorry, son. It's just that I worry about you.
Thanks, Ma, but I'm not 4 years old.
I know, Hal. You've grown up in front of my eyes. It's hard to get used to it.
Thing is, if this is high to late medieval, and he's unwed, and he was out with an unmarried woman, that is a scandal. And his parents being okay with that, and just kind of brushing it off, that's flipping weird, right? I mean, they're all like staunch, hard Roman Catholics, or like Greek Orthodox. Probably more Roman Catholic this region, but I'll have to check that. But what I'm going to do, have a quick shrink down, check this is recording fine, and it is, that's good. I'm also going to just check... Okay, I've been going for about 20-25 minutes. Let's see. My friend's been here. Hey, he's just got up. He's got an appetite on him, right? Or maybe, well, thing is, I find that when I wake up, I don't have an appetite straight away. It takes me a while to build up to that appetite, but, you know, even if he's not hungry, he's got a hard day's work ahead of him, so he wants to get some food down him, right?
Can I get something to eat?
I left some breakfast on the table. Help yourself.
Great. So I get to rob the table of all its worldly possessions. Have my friends been here?
Did Matthew and Fritz come looking for me?
No, I haven't seen them this morning. They shouldn't be hard to find. They'll be hanging around a tavern somewhere, as usual.
So, Matthew probably isn't Matthias, the archery instructor, and this is Bohemia, so archery training isn't mandatory, as it was in England at this time. Oh, you're misjudging my friends. You don't understand. You just don't know them.
That's unfair.
Really? So where were you until the small hours last night?
I was with Bianca, of course.
You mean at Bianca's tavern? And who was there with you? No, don't tell me. Let me guess. Matthew and Fritz. Well, at least you were with Bianca. You should hold on to that one, Hal. She's a clever girl. And invite her for supper sometime. Your father's very fond of her.
Of course he is. He thinks he'll be able to wheedle the secret of beer brewing out of her.
You're right there. You'd think he was planning to become a brewer in his dotage. Still, that's your father for you. At least he's interested in something, unlike you lot. You're too busy getting into mischief to do an honest day's work. If Fritz and Matthew carry on this way, they'll wind up swinging one day. You mark my words.
So repeating the hunger, say, oh come on, I just want to have my breakfast, would be a way of avoiding further conversation. She sounds too young to be his mother. She almost looks it too. Not the case of his father. She must have had him young. But then again, in this time period, that's not too unusual. Although for the father's age, a little unusual for there to be an age gap. I mean, maybe just, the profession aged him. It's hard work working this forge. You get older, or you get used to it. You don't stay young for long in this life. Is father angry? I mean, it's greyed out because it's already been, okay. Might as well ask just to be forewarned in case of trouble.
Is father angry with me for sleeping late?
He's not happy. Yesterday you promised him you'd help finish that sword for Sir Radzig. He's not as young as he was. And you know how his joints pain him. He's too proud to complain, but he needs your help, Henry.
I know. Don't worry, Ma. Of course I'll help him.
Good. He always says his knees ache when there's a storm coming. I hope they're wrong this time. It's looking like such a nice day.
Well, you know what they say. Always keep your promises and only make promises you can keep. I'll bear that in mind for this playthrough.
Do you need me to do anything, Ma?
Ah, you're a good lad. But I'm fine. It's your father needs helping with that sword.
So we're going to go help with the sword. Eat breakfast first. Whoa, I'm tall. It's like playing Nords in Skyrim with the Imperials, and I like the compass. That's the Skyrim compass. Please don't put quest objectives on the compass. That'll be so annoying. You can move around using W, A, S, and D. You can also sprint. And it's gone! It's gone! The tutorial pop-up is gone! Oh my god! Oh, the timing! Now, are we talking food over here or food over here? Well. Okay, the perspective on that arm was a bit scary. I'll have this as well. Beautiful music, I must say. Am I running? This feels like running. This doesn't feel like. Hang on.
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
All right. Is there anything in? Eat from pot? Wait. Drop into pot. Is that press and holdy? It is wonderful. I can't put the cheese in the pot. Why can't I put the cheese in the pot? I want to put the cheese in the pot. I can't. Right. There's a spoon beside that pot. Did that eat? Wait, can I? Huh. Okay, I appear to have eaten from a pot. I'm not entirely certain. Hey, look at that light coming in. It's almost silvery moonlight, but it's bright day out there. We got plants growing right outside the window. Is that some kind of vines that... what would be grown there? I mean, that's definitely being harvested. That's being grown so someone can make stuff out of it. Can I sit on the bench? I cannot sit on the bench. Okay. I'll have an apple. I will have an apple. Right. Can I... Wait. I can sit on the bench. I just had to go around the side. Hooray. I feel like a king. I like the fact that the body is there and visible. That is a big bag of money. It's not my money. Look, I'm related. So, if I take it, they're gonna know. Inventory. See, now I've got apples. Can I? Yes, I can. I can eat the apple. Oh, I ate both apples. Okay, am I wearing these? Green shirt, body garment. I presume I am. Red scarf, tight olive hooves, old boots, keys to a trunk. Because I backed this on Kickstarter, there is a kind of some kind of DLC with bonus items in with armor. Now, what I'm going to do with armor is you only wear armor if you're looking for a fight, if you're expecting trouble, right? You don't wear it walking around town because people are like, hey, what you, bloody hell, you know, are you going to duff someone up or something? So I'm going to try and live as a civilian, right? Because I'm not playing some kind of godly hero or anything. I'm not going to go shouting at dragons. I might shout about dragons if I get drunk. Who knows? So, main level is 1. Got melee weapon, ranged weapon, head armor, body armor. Hey, got a bit of protection from these clothes. Arm armor, leg plate. Why is that not leg armor? And why is leg plate 2? What on earth is he wearing on his legs? That is so... Oh, boots and hose. Right. The shirt doesn't give arm protection, but it gives body protection. Okay. A scarf, also to a body then, by the look of it. Interesting. So yeah, if I can find these bonus items, and they're probably, I don't know where to look for them, they'll probably be nearby somewhere in a chest or something. With health, energy out of 100, I'm going to imagine that over time, those maximum values will not increase, and I'll just treat it as a percentage until I know otherwise, right? Wait, so body? What's this? Headgear? Yeah. So body plate, body mail. Oh, yeah, I'm glad they're going to allow layering. Brilliant. Hands. Ah, so he just got hands, legs, body, head. In that case, arrows, bow, spurs. Where's shields? Where's my shield? These, I'm glad we got a clock here. These don't seem to do anything, but they're very pretty. Can I turn him round? I cannot turn him round or do anything with him. He's just standing there. Okay, player. Main level is 1. E for show more, Q for info. Very tempted. Aesthetic, manly odor. Manly odor! He can get BO! Brilliant! Brilliant! Oh, manly odor! Yeah, he reeks of shit! And Knight Rider? What? Wait. When don't you have a 50% more charisma when talking with women? However, people will smell you a mile off reducing your self-skill by... Oh, wow. Oh. Well, it's true. I mean, if you wash yourself too clean, you lower your resistances, and people will think there's something weird of you. Think you're some kind of posh fellow or something. Minimum level 2. Wow. Okay. Oh wait, so these are minimum level 2. We have a main level of 1. So these are things I can pick up. Infamous, local hero. So these are things to build towards. Contemplative. I should probably get that if I'm going to be playing myself, to be honest. Still, your tiredness and hunger will stay at the same level. Wow, that is amazing. I wonder if these will become available as a level. Can't be combined with the savage perk. So these are perks. They get chosen. What is this? Perk points, current level, level progress. Perk points, current level is 1, so no perk points. Well, look, we're nearly at level 2, okay? Let's see. Strength. Oh, there are perks for these as well? Ah, so we're going to get main level perks and stat perks and... Okay, vitality... Marathon Man! Which apparently means getting your teeth drilled with no anesthetic and running up and down loads of stairs and saying stuff and shouting things. I don't know. Berserk. Oh, As soon as your health falls to a minimum, you go berserk and your stamina regenerates 4 times faster. So I presume that just means you get to make loads more attacks. Speech. Final offer. Highborn, lowborn. Well, he's kind of... so this is nice. This is like the old Warhammer Fantasy roleplay thing where, you had leadership and fellowship, right? Leadership was telling people what to do, right? And fellowship was persuading people what to do. And it actually divided. It was like, you know what? Social status and stuff matters. If you're a servant talking to a servant, it's kind of different than if you're a servant talking to a merchant or a highborn lord, right? It's to do with... It's not necessarily that the other servant will respect you more because you're more low status. It's more that you understand how they think, so you can kind of get along with them, right? Trustworthy middleman. I wonder if these are incompatible with each other. Yeah, they are. They both have the same level, interestingly enough. So it's more that you're better off at communicating with that empathetic. In dialogues you see your counterpart's stats and skill checks. Interesting. You got Silver Tongue, Troubadour. And these, we don't even have anything for these. So charisma is a measure of how you can impress people. Fast talk will get you only that far. Fancy clothes and ornaments can give you that extra bit of stature you need. Its total is the average charisma value of all the visible items or clothing you're wearing. Underclothes don't count. But also influenced by how clean, dirty or bloody your attire is, so it's worthwhile visiting the baths now and again, or at least having a wash in a trough. So, yeah, something I was considering is the fact that, buying new clothes if they get bloody and if they get ruined, Visibility. Visibility is the opposite of camouflage. It tells you how easy you are to spot, and the lower it is, the better. It's the average visibility value of all the visible items of clothing you're wearing. Yeah, metal armor really catches moonlight and starlight out in the night time, I'll tell you that. It tells you how easy you are to spot, and the lower it is, the better. It's the average visibility value of all the visible items of clothing you're wearing. Naturally glittering armor and brightly coloured garments are much easier to spot than a dark cloak. You know what? Skin is actually really visible as well. So if you're wanting to sneak around at night, cover as much skin as possible, because for whatever reason, it really, really picks up the moonlight. And starlight. Naturally glittering, yeah. Your visibility in the dark is affected by the amount of light in your vicinity, as well as how much of your body is exposed to view, and how close you are to people. Hey, they took skin into account. I don't know if they're making skin easier to hide or harder to hide. I imagine harder. And how close you are to people. Enemies will spot you even in pitch darkness if you're too close. Well, obviously. Conspicuousness. Isn't that going to be related directly to visibility? Conspicuousness is a measure of how you stand out in the normal environment. Whether or not people who see you will look twice. It depends on your cleverness. So it's how noteworthy. Got it. Noise. 44. That's I don't know if there's what the maximum cap is, but for being unarmoured, that's a lot. The more noise you make, the more likely you are to be discovered whenever you move. Noise is derived from your clothing and weapons you have equipped. Okay, and speed determines how fast your character moves, as derived from your agility and overall encumbrance. Okay, so that'll be interesting. Let's see if it actually says these won't increase. Your total health is a fixed value. It doesn't increase over time and won't regenerate on its own. It depletes when you're wounded in combat, fall from a height, are poisoned or eat spoiled food, as well as when you're exhausted or starving. To heal yourself, you would have to take a healing potion or sleep. A healing potion is interesting. It's a viable concept for the time. We don't know how powerful healing potions are going to be. I don't want them to be too powerful because I want things to have consequences, right? If you're bleeding, you first have to bandage the wound before it will heal. Okay. Stamina, energy for doing stuff. Your character's stamina depletes over time when you do something physically demanding. If you pause to catch your breath, though, stamina will replenish itself automatically. Your immediate stamina depends on health, tiredness, and hunger. Can also be depleted by such things as overheating, drunkenness, and poisoning. Oh, nice. I like the amount of detail they're putting into this. Energy. Okay, so stamina is the power to keep on going and do something, physical exertion, whereas energy is getting exhausted over time. It's fatigue. It builds up more slowly, and your character gets tired over time, and then it needs to rest. It needs to... You're giving me a pre-generated character. You don't need to call him an it. Exhaustion depletes your stamina, and eventually you can faint. You can fend it off by imbibing alcohol in sensible amounts, for example. Wait, drinking staves off at exhaustion? Oh dear, that is crazy. Of drinking too much is... yeah, although drinking too much has the opposite effect as does eating heavy foods. Okay. And nourishment. Oh, maximum 120, okay. Character needs to eat and drink. Each type of food and drink will fill you up to a greater or lesser extent. Meat and meat products a lot. Meat and meat products a lot. Fruit and drinks little. I don't know, fruit can give you quite a fair bit of nourishment. And nuts and berries, bread, you know, all sorts of things. Overeating will negatively affect your stats. You also have to be careful what you eat. Food spoils over time and can easily poison you. So for long trips it's better to take with you durable foods. So lots, yeah. Thinking of a mindset for time, lots of salted meat, salted fish, lots of vegetables because they're easier to... well, you don't have to hunt a vegetable, right? It can't dodge. Let's see. Well, if you've got time to sit in a tavern, you can fill up with a freshly cooked meal. So it will be nice to try and get a varied diet. Okay. So states... I'm wondering if they should put a separation bar here because these ones don't have perks associated with them. Okay, combat, defense. Oh, we get more perks. Firm grip. Will that be for shields or... yeah, shields. Okay, good, we can get shields. Weapon cruncher. Oh, wearing down opponent's weapon so it can... Golem. Your armor is a third more frightening. Frightening? Oh, the intimidation factor of armor. I'm so glad that was taken into account. Because armor isn't just there for protection, it's there to make someone else go, hey, whoa, okay, look, don't even try it, you know. In sunny weather, the glint of your armor will dazzle everyone so much you'll be taken for a noble knight and have a +4 charisma bonus. Ha ha! Well worn. Oh, so basically your body is so beaten and battered and smushed up that anybody's armor will fit on. Oh no, able to put on... sorry, I misread that. I read it as you're able to put on your opponent's armor so cleverly. It's like, no, it's just knows how to wear armor well. Good, good. There is a wealth of information here. I'm assuming anything with the bow doesn't get perks. That's interesting. Warfare. Looks like it's attacking, generally. Chain strike. Okay, interesting. Axe, mace, sword, unarmed. So it's interesting to see which things don't get perks. Wow, alchemy. Drinking is a skill. They like their alcohol. Lockpicking, maintenance, pickpocketing, reading. Look, if I play with anything like Skyrim, I'll be just like a blacksmith, make all my own gear, and then get to the point around levels 12 to 13 where actually my equipment has out-leveled my ability to get the ingredients required to make the equipment because they're only available on level-based loot tables, and also the challenges I'm facing are actually now too difficult because I've invested all my points into crafting skills and not into the skills actually using the equipment. So, buffs. Healing. Okay, and reading spot. Okay. And those are up here, I'd noticed as well. Does that mean I can only have 6 of them? Or that I get to equip them? Food and potions regenerate your health. Okay, I thought that would be kind of natural. In a good place to read a book. Reading will be faster and you will learn more from your books. Okay, again, this is not early medieval, it's not that high medieval, it's getting nearer late medieval. He's an educated man. That's interesting. He can read more than I expect. Reputation, Skalitz. There are perks? No, just villagers. Right. No information. Right, statistics. That's a lot of statistics. Okay. Unexpected visit. We finally get some fine spring weather. But still I sleep late in the morning because I was out celebrating until late in the evening. But it was a bit hard getting out of bed in the morning. Go to your father, go to the sword fighting lesson. Okay. I have to go to father. I promised I'd help him with his work. I started getting some training in sword fighting from a mercenary who turned up in Skalitz recently. Father and mother mustn't find out. For some reason, they don't want me to learn to defend myself. I got a bit of a cut in yesterday's lesson, though. We're supposed to meet by the alehouse again today. Right. So he's sneaking out to do this. Naughty boy. Okay, unexpected visit is the only one. Whoa! Look at this map. Oh! This is a beautiful map. Wow. This X is a bit weird. I don't know what to do. If I click on the X, will something happen? No. Okay. Why is the X there? That is weird, but look at this beautiful map. Wow. This isn't necessarily a medieval art style, but it's a kind of art style that you'd find in children's storybooks from like the 60s, 70s, the 80s, aiming, well, even earlier, aiming to mimic medieval art styles, as opposed to the children's storybooks that didn't aim to mimic medieval art styles. But yeah, wow. So we got miners down here, or, well, more like a quarry actually, to be honest. It could be an open quarry. And what? He's whack, whack, whack. He's a mutant. He's a chaos mutant. And they said this was a purely historical game. Look, he's a chaos mutant making floods come out of the ground with his third arm growing directly out of his chest. Oh, I've got to start that Mordheim playthrough sometime soon if I can. Skalitz. So this is like a local map, and we got our little Potter here. Our little oh, I can't remember what his name was now. But this is some kind of building. So we don't get marks by things necessarily. We don't get names appearing on the map. I wonder if we'll find them as we got Skalitz here, but wait, is that? Oh, we get a nice big map. Nice angels looking after us when we get in trouble. We could do with some guardian angels. Now, I hear a rumour that this game has limited saving. You need to drink some alcohol to save or something. Let's, Codex, I'm not going to have time to look through all this, I'm afraid. Well, otherwise these episodes will become insufferable. But for now, gladly no weapons. You could call it armour, yeah. Wait. Yeah, food. Nom 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 nom. Eat the food, eat the food. Eat it. Eat it. And you know what? Actually, just because I can, you know what's coming. Nourishment. Now 76. That's better. Okay. I like that sliding across and slightly stone sound there. So again, while it is open world, I'm not going to go picking up everything that doesn't belong to me, because I'm playing the role of this here peasant, right? Well, he's not quite a peasant. What is this? This is... some kind of shirt or cloth. I'm not going to close the door. Is that a broom? Oh wow, it's a broom without a handle. It's all twigs all the way up. Wow, like a beach broom or something. That bag there hanging, it's not mine, not my business. And now I'm going to do the most sensible thing possible. I'm going to close the door behind me. Oh, that crack. That crack. Right. I see you light coming in through there, little high up window. There are all these things on pegs. So many pegs. I tell you, whoever makes the pegs must make a fat fortune in this district. There's a scythe there. I'm not going to open that because it's not... Maybe I should. You know what? It's my home. I should know what's in there. So this is for like player knowledge. Ah, yes. Storage. And this chest. I'm not going to pick a lock on a chest in my own home. Because, for starters, I don't have any lockpicks, and secondly, you don't steal from family, because they find out. Among other reasons. Okay. Can I get outside here? I can. Oh, that sunlight is very bright. Very bright for being hungover. If it's some in the morning, better close that door. But right. Would have been nice to see the ring turn slightly in the hand there, but okay. Where's my mother? So the father's probably not that way. Ooh, these ends of beams here. They just look a bit too flush with the wall, you know? I'm not... Are they actually? Well, I shouldn't move like that, it'll make her suspicious. This here, this looks like I'll bang my head on it if I'm not careful. Better edge around. You know, I will say hello. Ask her where my father is.
How are you, Henry?
Huh.
Can I get something to eat?
I left some breakfast on the table. Help yourself.
Looks like he's fallen in an oil slick. Okay, interesting. Now, there's an axe there. I cannot take it. I can't... Oop. Steady. Yep, father is not here. I see a big chimney. I see lots of smoke. I'm fairly certain this is the way I need to go. Well, keep off the grass. You know, show respect. There's a big yellow dot in the middle of the screen. I've discovered a grindstone? Where? I like the fact the character isn't rotating with the mouse. He might be slightly looking at his shadow. Best angle of approach. Don't want to get in his way. There's a grindstone there.
What's the matter with you, Henry? Didn't you hear me calling you?
Oh, persuasion. Sometimes you need powers of persuasion to achieve your goals. When talking to people, you can often choose what kind of impression you want to make on them. Mouth, you can simply use speech, which, however, is influenced by the reputation you have at the moment with the person you're talking to. In the Middle Ages, social status was paramount. He's my father. Social pulling rank or something, it ain't gonna work, right? In the Middle Ages, social status was paramount. How do I switch between 1 and 2 here? So the quality of your attire and how well groomed you are together with your reputation can make a big difference to other people, to how people respond to you. If you look dangerous, people will be afraid to cross you, and you will also be more willing to assign risky tasks to you. Oh, and will also be more willing to assign risky tasks to you. That's influenced mainly by your strength and the deterrent effect of your weapons and equipment, but other things are also taken into account, such as blood stains on your clothes. You can sometimes rely on money to do the talking for you. Again, family. I mean, money helps a bit sometimes, but not in this kind of situation. You just have to agree on a persuasive sum. Bribing people works in the same way as shopping. I thought I was going to say in the same way as in the real world, where you bribe someone and hope it works. See trade and haggling. In special cases, you can try any of Henry's other skills, such as horsemanship. I don't think... It's not only the manner of persuasion that's important, but also the specific offer, because sometimes it's not enough just to choose according to your highest characteristics. You have to really read what Henry is going to say. Will the mouse wheel do it? No, it won't. Well, no. Tab? Okay, well, I'll just... I had to do something, sorry, I went into it. No. It's family. I like my father, so far. I mean, he might work me a bit hard as a Henry, but we'll see.
Sorry, I had to go and deal with something.
Well, it's no great tragedy. Anyway, we've a lot of work to do today. I'm finishing the sword for Sir Radzig, and I need your help.
With what?
I'm running out of charcoal. Run to the market and buy a bag from the charcoal burner.
I'll need some money then.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Kunesh still owes me for an axe, a hammer, and the nails I sold him a month ago. Not to mention his debt from before. Go and tell him to pay up, at least for the axe and hammer, and then use the money to buy the charcoal.
Kunesh? That drunkard? That'll be fun.
Well, you're a big lad now. I'm sure you can manage. If not, tell him that next time I'll come myself and personally use that hammer to bang those nails into his arse.
He'll be happy to hear it. Is that all?
Not quite. The Chamberlain at the castle has the crossguard for Sir Radzig's sword, which I had engraved in Sasau.
You want me to go and pick it up? Alright. Money, charcoal, crossguard. Got it.
And ale. Stop off at the tavern on your way home. I know you'll be going there anyway to see that girl of yours. But make sure the ale's still cool from the cellar when you get back.
Her name is Bianca.
Right, so make sure Bianca draws me a nice cool one. Run along now, work won't wait.
Most of the quests can be completed in different ways. Eloquence will help you win friends, an inconspicuous person can totally avoid trouble, and you'd rather not beat around the bush, violence can also be a solution. New Codex entry. N. Let's see. Okay, that wasn't it. What was that conversation tutorial? It's not here. It's not here! I must say, there is a wealth of stuff here. Oh, yeah, Jews. On the subject of Jews, the Jews... I've seen videos on YouTube that I haven't watched yet, you know, asking, is this game racist? And I thought, okay, well, first off, are they going to say it's full of white people? I'm like, this is 15th century Bohemia, the population was mostly white. But then I thought, actually, if you think about it a bit more, if it is a medieval game, you know, we're talking pre-Martin Luther here, so Catholicism doesn't really exist yet. Actually, are we? When was Martin Luther? I can check that in between episodes. I did a school project on him years ago. But so Catholicism might be beginning to spread, but basically everyone's Catholic, everyone hates the Jews, and it's a sign of the times, right? It is what it is. You take it in the context it was given and enjoy the story. You know, I'm not playing this game because I'm anti-Semitic or anything daft like that. No, it's just like, if I was playing a historical medieval game where the Jews were treated really nicely, maybe it'd be a game where all the characters were Jewish in a small little Jewish enclave in a big city or something. That would actually be an interesting setting for a story. But the point I'm getting at is, if I'm enjoying this as a fairly authentic medieval experience, I want to enjoy a fairly authentic medieval experience. I don't want it whitewashed or things to be hidden. People to say, yeah, so, again, you know, medieval period, women are not going to have a lot of autonomy. In fact, they have less autonomy than they did in the, you know, Viking cultures and Anglo-Saxon cultures in the Dark Ages, actually, where women had more rights than they had later on in the medieval period. Yeah, crazy, I know. Then again, when was it? There was one point in France, the head of the French Blacksmiths Guild was a woman at one point, and so women did get power, and they did get to own things, inherit things and stuff, just not very often. Whereas, of course, in the Dark Ages, a woman was entitled to legally own as much land as she could walk around the boundary of during a single day carrying a burning torch. Yeah. So, you know, things and stuff. So, essentially, when you then say, oh, if the Jews aren't treated very nicely in this game, does that mean the game's creators are racist? Not necessarily. Does it mean the game is racist? Again, not necessarily, right? It's more like, do you want an accurate representation of history or a kind of idealized representation of history? Segregation of Jews. So let's see. The Jews settled in Moravia and Bohemia probably even earlier than the 10th century. Initially they were considered foreigners who the Romans had banished into exile. Jewish traders in the Czech lands settled largely... Did Czechoslovakia exist then? Not sure it is. Settled largely around the long-distance trade routes in major centres, which in the early Middle Ages were Olomouc, Brno, Znojmo, and the central Elbe River environs. Most lived in Prague, however. Records tell of about 120 houses in the demarcated Jewish quarter of the old town. I almost said democratic. It would be like, this isn't ancient Greece. They were under the legal protection of decrees by Wenceslas II and subsequently Charles IV. Over the centuries, however, the flourishing of their activities as merchants and financiers gave rise to protests from many elements of society, in particular the Catholic Church. The Jews had indeed imported valuable gold and used it to barter for horses, furs, or slaves. Their rights became progressively circumscribed. Circumscribed. Not the other word. They could not buy land or houses, had to live in specially designated ghettos, were allowed to lend money at interest, usury, and to trade... Yeah, usury. It's an old word for money lending. And to trade only where they were not in competition with locals, and were prohibited from working as craftsmen or farmers. That's actually getting pretty bad by that point. The segregation of Jews was also underlined by enforced labelling. They had to wear, for example, a yellow circle or yellow ribbon on their garments, or a specifically shaped hat. The women had to have a yellow ribbon in their hair, and the men mandatory beards. No help came from the church, which traditionally laid the blame on them for being the killers of Christ and for adhering to pagan rituals. In the Middle Ages, the Jews were considered the king's own and under his protection, so that if the townspeople were inclined to commit a pogrom, to set fire to the quarter and massacre the inhabitants, they would have to pay the king hefty reparations. Some Jews looked forward to such pogroms as a good source of... Wait, no, sorry, oh my god! That would have been the start of the insurance scandals, wouldn't it? Oh god. Some kings looked forward to such pogroms as a good source of income. Others protected their Jews. For example, Wenceslas IV granted the Prague Jews the right to their own town within Prague, with its own wall and 6 gates, but even this failed to protect them from the pogrom of 1389, when the king was travelling abroad. After his return, he levied the ultimate punishment on the organisers of the pogrom, which quelled further attacks for some time, though they made a comeback with the Hussite movement. Nice bit of information there. I should look at some toilets. Go on, go on, go on. Medieval toilets. In the countryside, or during wars, people went outdoors to relieve themselves, to the cowshed or the dung heap in the yard. Houses of a higher social standing had a little hut built by the dung heap. At night, chamber pots were used tucked under beds and were emptied onto the dung heap in the morning. In the castles and in wealthier homes, we would find a privy, a toilet, located, wherever possible, in one of the heated rooms with an oriel on the first floor. There wasn't necessarily a door, and inside was a bench seat with a round hole. Bit like Morocco. Not uncommonly, it was in the banquet hall itself, so one would not have to depart, and could even observe the goings-on at table from the privy. Oh, don't mind me, I'm just going to have a crap while I watch you lot eat. See what I'm doing? You'll be doing it soon enough. Yeah, recycling. Privies used to be in a niche cut in the wall with a sloping vent shaft leading to the outside of the building. So just drop crap on people as they walk by. In either case, the fecal matter would fall freely along the castle walls into the ditch or down the slope. Wow, that would leave some dirty stains on those walls. Privies were gradually upgraded and flushed through with rainwater. They might also have a flap added that discharged the excrement once the flap was replaced by a foot lever. So released by foot. Despite this, up to the 16th century, it was common practice to empty chamber pots out of windows onto the city streets. Too damn right it was. Wow. All the fun stuff. I want to go look at names and surnames, but not now. We'll keep on looking. Characters. We have so many characters. So much information to take in and so much fun to have. Right, it's time to go threaten an old drunk for payment. Collect the quillons of the sword from the castle. And now we get yep. It's almost as if I should do this now for political order. So buying charcoal. Do I have market? Do I have money to buy the charcoal with? I have no money to buy the charcoal with. Well, I don't think I'm going to get any before I set off. Right, let's have another look at this map. So I'm going that way. Okay. So actually going to pick up the crossguard first would be fairly reasonable. Were it not for the fact that that's a kind of afterthought thing I can do on the way back. Got it. So I'm going this way. I can go down these steps. I do like the look of these steps. Take a left, or I can just go this way, which looks like more of a main thoroughfare, really. Let's tread along this dusty path. I can almost feel my nostrils congealing already because of the dust. There's a person there, hard at work. Two horses, resting nicely. Let's go say hello. How do? I can't talk to you. Too busy and hard at work for me. Okay then. You can find all information about the quests in the log, and for clarity they're also indicated on the map as well as the compass at the top of the screen. Right, well we'll soon see about that. This feels like a running speed more than a walking speed to me. It's dubious.
Which king do you mean, Master Tobias? The one sitting in some godforsaken dungeon, or the one who holds the key to the dungeon?
These are strange times. Strange and ill-omened. But since I serve our liege lord Sir Radzik, I think you know the answer.
True, but where will Sir Radzik take the silver? Hardly to Kuttenberg. Now its citizens bend their knees to Sigismund.
Fortunately, that's not my problem. Perhaps Sir Radzig is keeping it at the castle until this old unhappy story reaches its end.
I only hope Sigismund doesn't get an appetite for our silver too.
That makes 2 of us. But back to business. I'll need 3 wagon loads.
I see your people are working hard. You'll have it tomorrow. Shall we go and drink to the deal?
With pleasure, good man.
Okay, so these voices sound a bit different. The fellow in green sounded more high status than the other fella. He's Skyrim NPC walking into scenery. I did hear this game could be a bit buggy.
So, I asked for a high price. And he says, that's fine. And started counting out the coin there and then.
Just like that? Well, I heard about him. He's a right skinflint. And what did Betty have to say?
She was well pleased, as you can imagine. Even more when I told her Tonda will take everything she makes.
That's great. A bit of extra coin never hurts.
Hey, what?
Oh, sorry, mate. Didn't think you were going to walk right into me. Yeah? No good. Good for nothing. Hello, you. Who are you? Charcoal burner's helper. Well, I don't need you. But I do need to track down. I don't like having everything on the compass like that. It's a little too easy mode. Says he, blatantly opening the map. And hey, we get... Our map character has facing? He was facing up before, like that way. And what's this? Grindstone. Okay, yeah. Charcoal. Well, I don't... A. That can't be A and B. Sword fighting lesson, ale at the tavern. You. We need to get that money from Kunesh. Wait, I was standing... Have I slipped down the slope? Hang on, I'm just going to go like... Okay, the character does rotate with the camera. That's a shame. I'm going to jog along this little ear path. Parf, with an R in it. Oh, hello there. Nice to see you putting that hammer to good... Oh, that's an axe.
God be with you, Kunesh.
What do you want?
My father sent me to get the coin you owe him for the axe, hammer and nails.
I've got nothing. Clear off.
You know you owe father for a lot more than just the axe and hammer. If he went to the bailiff about it, you'd be in deep water. At least pay for the tools if you can't pay for everything.
I told you I have no coin, you bastard. Get the hell out of here, or I'll use the axe on you.
I was thinking that might have been a bit of a weak opening, but I thought best be careful. Right. Kind of even odds either way, but I think we need to be a bit forceful, because it's what our father would expect here.
I must have misheard you. It sounded like you just told me to clear off. But you wouldn't be stupid enough to think you can steal, not pay your debts, and then try to scare me. Would you?
You son of a whore. How dare you speak to me like that? Didn't your thieving father teach you any manners? No? Well, I'll teach you then.
Oh, blimey. Ugh! Song says, okay. So, left mouse is for light, right mouse is for heavy. F, kick, tab. Okay. Attack direction. Interesting. Right. What?
didn't.
Oh, ow! Oh, bollocks! Right. Oh, nice one. Oh, bugger. Hey, oh no! Am I gonna... Oh! I keep trying to go for the heavy attack. Ow! Right, I need to work this one. Oh my god! Well, this is suitably hard.
Giving up all.
That's right, I'll kick you! Come here, you bugger! Get in range. Bloody hell, he keeps doing that. Right, hang on. How the fucking hell does he... Oh, flipping arm locks, man, every time. I'm not entirely sure how to choose directions, but this is... I'm not sure how I'm doing either.
Come on then.
Okay. How the bloody hell does he keep doing that? Yeah, that's right. Oh! I'm gonna kick you like a pig. Oh! What?
You had it coming, you pup. And your old man can fuck off too.
You can always see your health. Bloody hell, that was hard. He was very good at that. What a thief. Well, that again was not up for long enough. Gonna have to go see my old mum now. Poor Henry. He got all beaten up. Well, we've got to get our stuff back. Now remember, kids, don't steal anything. Never steal unless you're stealing your own stuff back from someone who stole it from you. In which case, you probably still shouldn't steal and I still shouldn't endorse it, but actually then it does feel kind of justified. Look at this rickety old path here. Can we actually fit? That is a very narrow gap. What a scumbag that individual was. Actually, what kind of an injury is that? Yikes. Unarmed, new level? I suppose it seems to start at nothing. Having to fend on Q is really weird. Injured torso. We don't know what kind of injury. I suppose he's just kind of bruised and beaten up. And actually, look at the state of those clothes. Wow. That is in sore need of repair. Wow. Okay, you know what though? I'm going to end the episode here and I'll start you know, recording another one because I haven't found out how to save yet, but this has been a lot of fun so far. This is Kingdom Come Deliverance. I'll put a link down in the description if you'd like to try it out for yourself. And you know what? Hey, I've had a blast playing this game, and I hope you've enjoyed watching it too. I'll say bye-bye for now, and see you all in the next one. Cheerio!